Thank you everyone for joining us here today. This is a WIEP study group cohort 2. This is the launch meeting here today. And I see a lot of new faces. I see a lot of excitement within the community to join this study group and may be able to make your first contribution to the Ethereum ecosystem. I would like to thank our study group coordinator, Lena and Gyan, who has been supporting since the day we launched study group 1, and the participant who have been actively contributing to issues created on Ethereum repository. Thank you to team Besu and Teku, who have graciously offered their help to support study group 2, and we would be picking issues from their repository. So it's nice to hear more from that. I would like to invite my other team members. We are joined by Ladonna. She is another member of WIEP team, Gyan and Lena. If you have to add more to share more about this WIP group and the study group initiative we have here.
Sure. I think Lena has prepared a nice PPT as well. Maybe we can go through that. Before that, Ladonna, if you have anything to add, or we can share the screen with the PPT.
There we go. Yeah, I'm really excited to be here, excited to see so many new faces. This is cohort 2, so we are definitely growing and making a wave to make women feel included in contributing to the Ethereum protocol. So I am just really excited, along with everyone else here, to be participating and organizing and steering this ship forward.
Same for me. I can only support that. I think we can all agree that the last cohort was amazing. We learned so much. I will get to the numbers, but yeah, I think it's been incredible to witness how supportive people have been, and like really seeing through that everybody kind of gets to the finish line and submits their first issue. And there were a lot of like study sessions just in between the participants, and I think that is just something that I am looking forward to seeing again. But that was very, very beautiful to see what kind of like supportive environment was created the last time. So thank you so much again to all the participants, and of course thank you so much to Pooja and Ladonna for initiating and starting all of this, and for Gyan for being an incredible co-host.
And also, I think quick thanks to Sam, who's not on this call, but
Yes.
he did provide a lot of support in terms of helping sort of people get to the point where they feel confident in terms of completing their issues and being able to kind of continue working on GitHub related stuff and all of that. So I think that was really nice. And we hope that the repositories that we have this time, I think with the support from the teams themselves, we should be able to see more enhanced results, hopefully, in this cohort. So, yay.
Okay, so like I will quickly go just to the concept, what you can expect, the outcomes from the first cohort, and then we will already start just like talking about our new plans for cohort 2, go into the 2 repositories, and I think we can even get started distributing a first issue if we have time for that. I mean, that would be ideal. So just for all of you that are new, what we offer to you is like weekly sessions to really like consistently improve and like finish your task. Please make sure that you have filled out the form, just so we have your email address so we can send you the Google invite, because yeah, as we all know, we're really busy. If it's not in our calendar, we might miss it. So make sure you have filled out the form. The second thing that we do is we pair our participants, so you will have an accountability partner. For that, we just want to say it worked incredibly well the last time. It was really beautiful to see how people supported each other and like communicated with each other, and how it really helped people to like pull through and share their learnings. One of the things that we want to ask all of you is, of course, like for this time, please be fair and respectful. We understand sometimes you can get overwhelmed with something, but like your partner might just end up being alone. And that's not an issue. We can always like pair your partner with somebody new, but it's just nice if you just like send one of us a message or send it in the Discord and let us know that you are dropping out. And yeah, what we're going to do here is we are looking to prepare you to understand how to contribute to open source projects in the Ethereum ecosystem. I think for a lot of, especially women, it's very new or like not something we do often to contribute to open source. And there are some guidelines and some rules and some etiquette that we will try to teach you here, because we know that how intimidating it can be when you don't even know how to get started. So that's what we're here for. We are here to push you, to provide support and also collaboration. Last time we had a few study sessions on the weekend where people just met and like supported each other as they had similar issues. So yeah, the goal of this study group is for you to feel secure enough to enter the open source space alone, but you can be here as long as you want. Like you can move from cohort to cohort, and you can also start mentoring other people and share your knowledge. And I think it's very important to understand we are here to provide a framework. We are here to like explain you how to reach out on Discord, how to reach out on GitHub. Like, as I said, the etiquette. But we expect you to like show up, be proactive, and yeah, as we create the safe space for you to like fully explore what is possible.
One more quick thing, I think in the way the cohort functions, these cohorts are designed for beginner to intermediate developers. What that means is that you would need to have some understanding of programming to be able to tackle these issues. We have chosen this format as of now because we think like this is the biggest missing piece in bringing more female devs to the ecosystem. There is a lot of things happening before this, which is like study groups, online courses, and being able to kind of learn things on your own, self-learning material. All of these things exist, but there isn't anything in the ecosystem, just even broadly across Web3, where we encourage people to right off the bat start contributing to protocols. And that is why we have chosen this approach. And we have mentioned it also clearly in the prerequisites that it is important for you to have experience with programming language. And the second thing that I also wanted to mention is that you slowly, as we keep going through the cohorts, the more cohorts we do, I feel like the more repositories we will have access to. So you will have more options to choose from. But don't be scared if you're not familiar with that programming language. All you need to know is to be able to work with one programming language. Any programming language is just a construct. So if you know how to work with one programming language, you will be able to apply those principles to any other programming language. So don't be scared that the repositories that we have right now are not a programming language that you're familiar with. Go ahead and pick up the issues anyway. But if you're not familiar with programming, I would say that it will be a little overwhelming to start right away with GitHub issues. So I would suggest to maybe get up to speed with a simple programming language. I would suggest system programming language like C, Rust, or something that is compiled language and not interpreted or scripted languages, because they will give you an understanding of how the operating system and other things, just the computer architecture and stuff will work. So I would suggest to pick that, maybe complete a small course or something, build some few projects, and then come and pick up the GitHub issue. So this is the prerequisite for the cohort. That is, you need to have expertise in any one programming language.
Thank you so much for that input. Yeah, I think it's very important for everybody who's joining. We want you to have a great experience. We want you to feel like you accomplished something and to feel successful. If you have not many years of experience of coding, then this might not be the right thing for you, and you might feel overwhelmed and also frustrated. So please understand that like we are happy to direct you into the like to study groups and cohorts. There's some things that we can recommend to you. So please reach out. But yeah, we feel like we want to add this disclaimer because the last time we had 2 or 3 people that got really like insecure and frustrated because their knowledge was just not up to speed. And also for open source contributions, GitHub is very, very crucial to understand how to work with GitHub. But if you have coding knowledge, it's okay. It's something you can learn. We have some resources that I will show to you in a second of how you can get started with GitHub, but that should be your first step. to a contribution. And then, yeah, as Kian said, simple intro course into that coding language in case you don't know it. We are a group that is like very global. So we are in a lot of different time zones. One of the things that we have learned the last time is that people prefer to be partnered with people in the same time zone. So please make sure to kind of like let us know that if something doesn't, like, we will try to partner you from our side, because sometimes it takes a lot of time if people choose things. But please let us know if you feel like somebody is in a completely different time zone, because that will 100% affect your communication and the way you can collaborate. But yeah, also very exciting, like how many people we have from everywhere. I think that is so cool to see. But yeah, we look back into cohort number 1, we had 41 applicants, we had 14 consistent participants, 3 closed issues. We have, I think now 6 PRs, pull requests to be closed, and 2 members who are currently in the Ethereum fellowship program. This is also one of our goals, that we will bring many of you into this fellowship program. It's a 6-month program where you work closely with the protocol and learn, like, really to contribute to the protocol like full time and with like a small stipend. And we would love to see many of you get accepted into the next cohort. And yeah, we had here some quotes just to like show you how beautiful this group is. That yeah, you can chat and laugh and learn, and with a brilliant community. We push you, we hold you accountable, and we help you to remove blockers. And yeah, and also when you struggle, it's beautiful to see that everybody else is also struggling, and then you can help each other and pick each other up. And so that was really nice. As we mentioned before, there were some challenges that you will face, and we know you will face those. So be aware that that's something everybody will struggle with, and we are here to support you. First, the new language. Happy to like provide you with resources of how to get started. New to open source contributions. That's exactly what we're here for, to like teach you the whole process, and overall the confidence that you can do it. That's what we're here for. To remove these challenges. And now we're already at cohort 2. How will that look like? We have, maybe I can get started first with, before we get into the repositories, I wanted to very quickly share. We also have a contribution workflow, but you can also see that in. So this is our GitHub repository. You should have like already seen it when you filled out the form. And let me just share the link here. What you can find here, and we want you also to contribute, is resources. As I already said, we are just collecting resources for everything you might need. These are mainly resources to the issues that we were solving in the first cohort. But there's also some links to getting started with GitHub, for example. We also have a how-to guide of how to approach your first issue. I think probably there's also, in most repositories, there's also some links to a guide on how to do that. But I think also, as Gian said, the main communication channel is for us in Discord, in the study group channel, where we will create also a subthread for each of your issues. And we would love for you to also, if you feel confident enough, but we would just recommend that, to also fill this out to show kind of like who you are, share with the group, and then that way we will also track issue progress in this public repository. Also, you will always be able to know what we will be talking about in the next session if you go to issues, where we'll create an issue for each weekly meeting, where you can also find the link to the meeting, and we will later add also the link to the recording. And this is kind of very oriented in how calls in the Ethereum protocol work. They have weekly calls. Everything is always in the GitHub repositories. So everybody can join. And this is kind of the principle of open source contribution also, that discussions and meetings are publicly accessible, right? And I don't have Discord open right now, but yeah, feel free to like join the Discord, introduce yourself. This will be our main channel of communication. And then we would also recommend for you to join the Discord channel for the R&D, because that is kind of a place where you can reach out to more experts in case we are not able to answer your questions. I think coming back to our slides. Yeah, what I added here again, the contribution workflow, but I think that's something I think we can discuss afterwards. The main thing is just that you learn to like fork a repository, create your own branch, understand that you always have to do tests, and how you communicate and reach out for your first issue. But I think for that, we would actually invite somebody who has more expertise in one of these. Kanchan, can I invite you on stage to talk about the Consensys repository?
Hi, thanks, Lena. Hi, I'm Kanchan. I'm the group lead for the protocols team within Consensys. And I'm so excited to be supporting this protocols study group. I can talk about the two products. So Teku is our Consensys client. It's written in Java. And we have mentors who are already on Discord who can help you. So you can go through these issues if there's anything you like, or if you need, even if you're not sure what issue to pick up, reach out to one of the mentors. They are part of Besu team and they can guide you through the process.
Is this like, I think one of the things that last time were not clear to people, like how do I sign up for an issue, right? Like, for example, if somebody sees an issue, like how they get an issue assigned, or how, because there's like a lot, it's open source, everybody can contribute. How would somebody
so you can read the contributing guidelines, which is right at the top of this page. So that will give you a good idea on how to, contribute to this code base. But I would suggest, like, if you're interested to contribute to either Besu or Teku, is to reach out to one of the mentors and they can take you through the process as well. Because this talks about, joining the Besu and Teku Discord channel. Maybe we can, provide further support, maybe a step before that. If you reach out to the mentors, they can guide you through that process.
So, Kanchan, maybe we can discuss that like on Discord as well. But ideally, what we would like, this was a big pain point for us last time, is that one of the mentors from each of the repositories to come and talk about just like how the repository functions, because these repositories tend to be really huge. And then being able to find that exact piece of code where you need to, fix the issue. They could just do a generic walkthrough of the repository and be like, these are the folders, and this is what each of these folders, just as an umbrella thing, this is what it means, and this is what it is doing. And then also like, here is a test folder, and here is where you can actually put in your test for testing these. I think just this like umbrella overview can be helpful from a first level. And then as people pick the issues, we can then ask them to start asking specific questions regarding their issue. But an umbrella overview of like, what is this doing, this entire product? What are the different functionalities of this product? And then the folders that are there in this product, like what are the features that each of these kind of paths are, meant to work on. So that's
absolutely. So what I can suggest is probably I'll get one of the mentors to record a short video and share it on Discord. Because I think with both the repositories, probably one of the issues could be the time zone, because our teams are located mostly in Australia.
okay.
So the more async we can do, like they'd be happy to get on the calls as well. But I'd suggest we record a short video for both these repositories and we can share it on Discord with that.
I think that sounds great. One of the things that I just like, you proposed that our the team members reach out to you and to a mentor before choosing an issue. One of the things that have worked really well the last time was that we just picked issues for people and put them into teams. Because especially if you feel overwhelmed, if things are like very new to you, and you have to like go through things and you like we really had to push people to just go for it. And that's why I love that you have the mentors available, but especially also, as you say, like they will probably be more async. I would prefer to just like assign topics to people and then they can still switch. But I think, and then they can reach out to a mentor and the mentor can give them a quick intro video. Like, I think in general, also, if every team would have a mentor session, I think your team would be spread really thin. So I think the video idea is a great idea. Then we assign the issues to people, and then they can reach out to the mentors. But yeah, I think that's also Kanchan, you touched on an important topic here. We know a lot of us are used, like we would love somebody in person being able to answer our questions right away. But that is also one of the things that we have to learn in open source contributions, that most of the time, maybe you get lucky and you get dropped into like a Discord stream, like voice channel where somebody can explain you something. But most of the time, you just have to learn to like really detailed describe where you're stuck, what you have been trying. And that way people with links to like the documentation that you looked at. And that way you also learn a lot and you also learn to communicate async with people, which will be a huge part of your learning here in the study group. Regarding the mentor office hours, as we said, we will try to have mentors when we feel like there's a lot of questions there. We would encourage you to try to get them solved async. If like that's why we identified the last time that it's very necessary to have an intro video into the repository to just understand the architecture and how everything is related. And then we prefer to like collect on like our weekly meeting, we collect where you're stuck, where you are waiting for a response, so we can push, also ping the mentors and everybody to reply to you in time. And then I think at one point we could discuss live sessions, but we want for you to have that, of course, but we want to bring these mentors in when it's really necessary, when you feel like you all reached a point where now the async communication is not working. Attending these sessions, like today, the weekly sessions, is quite important because you get to also like just talk to other people, get to connect, feel more comfortable. But every session is recorded and we share the link to the recording also on Discord. So you could also just catch up, be active in Discord where we are also active, and that way still contribute and participate in the study group. And then maybe set up with like one of the more active members that already solved a few issues. You can, maybe they have time to schedule a specific time with you also.
Lena, I had one more thing before I drop off. So along with Besu and Teku repos, we'd be keen to get, if anyone is interested to contribute to Besu documentation, technical documentation, we are happy to support that as well. So I think Pooja's got the link, our docs repo. At the moment, it's just open issues, but Byron can support us through that. Again, read the contribution guidelines and we can help you get started on that. And I'll make sure that we get a video on that as well.
Okay. Okay, great.
Yeah, I think this is great. We can add some technical documentation. So maybe people who feel overwhelmed, like with, coding and stuff like that, could also just start with the technical documentation. So that would be good.
Should we already start distributing issues or?
Yeah, we can. I'll be open to it, but I think people may want to go through it once. I feel like last time we had that option that we gave the repos in Discord, even though it was 1 or 2 days before. Maybe we can take some consensus, like if people want to just get the issues assigned, like irrespective of how much ever time you give to go through this repository, it's still gonna be just jumping in with a leap of faith at whatever point in time you decide to take up the issues. So if you want to do it now, then you're just taking that leap of faith now. So if you wanna like take the issues now, you can raise your hands. But if you feel like you want a day or two, like we're open to that as well. I think because we have a lot of newbies this time.
Yeah. Pooja, thank you. Before we get into like distributing issues, I will write down who is already on the list, but maybe we can start with some questions, probably to how we do everything. Did I answer all the questions in the chat? Let me just check.
Yeah, or if anyone has any questions for Kanchan as well, I think as Pooja mentioned.
Yeah, I know she has to drop. So if anyone has any question with respect to Besu or Teku repository or want to understand in general, please feel free to share.
Okay, and I'm available on Discord as well. So if you think of something and if you have any question, you can reach out to me there as well.
Kanchan, there is one request on a short intro to Consensys/Hyperledger. Like in addition to the recording, a short intro to Consensys/Hyperledger will also be good. That's a request that has come.
Yes, I have noting that down. I'll make sure that that happens as well.
Okay. Hey, Anya, oh, I think you joined a bit late, but I shared the Discord link. You can share it again. Okay, we had 4 hands up for allocation of. Let's allocate to those who raised their hands. At least let's get started. So when one.
Is it possible to ask a question?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
please.
First of all, hi. Thank you for doing this. It's an amazing initiative. My name is Netta. I'm new. I'm a seasoned developer, but I'm new to Ethereum and blockchain and Web3 in general. My question is in terms of commitment and in terms of like how much of an obligation is this in terms of hours? I would like to participate as much as possible, but I just kind of want to know what I'm getting into before, since it's the end of summer and I have kids at home right before school starts. So I just kind of want to know what to expect so that I don't, sign up for something and then leave someone behind. And that's not what I really want to do.
I would say that, to be very honest, it is completely dependent on you. The only thing that we advise is to make sure to attend this call, which is fixed now. It will happen every Monday at the same time. And for the other thing, it's completely like asynchronous. From your profile, since you're already a seasoned developer, this would be just like writing some piece of code for you. It won't, most of these GitHub issues don't need that much contextual understanding of how the protocol itself works. And that's why we chose this format. So you can just dive into, it will be more like bug fixing any repository that you come across in Web 2. And this time, actually, I think it is in favor for you because one of the repositories is in Java, which is very largely used in Web 2. So if you come from a Web 2 background, then it's going to be like easy peasy for you. I would say like in the beginning, just to navigate stuff and all of that, maybe the first week would require maybe 5 to 6 hours of like focused learning for you. You could split that over every single day of the week. And going forward, as you keep taking more and more issues, the time will only be lesser. This 5 to 6 hours is just my guesstimation because I was also came into Web 2. But yeah, so I think it would totally depend on what is your experience level and how used to are you handling like large pieces of code. That's the only big criteria.
Yeah, I think the thing that cost most people most time was really to understand the repository. Like I think like right now what we're showing here, it's like there's like snacks, which is like smaller coding tasks that cost less than a day. But like last time we had a lot of like people that didn't know Rust, but then we had a Rust repository. So they first needed to understand everything that was going on and like how to solve it. And as soon as they solved one issue, the next issue was done in like a week or two. So it's mainly you learning and understanding how open source contribution works. And then, of course, depending on your knowledge of the language, it will be faster or less fast for you.
But how does the pair programming come into play here? Are we choosing issues together or?
We would just assign you another person. We
Yeah.
would just put you in a group with another person.
Yeah. So we assign a pair. We generally say that if you do have a pick or a choice that you do want to work with someone, you can do that as well. It's not like super hard and fast. But most people, at least in the first cohort, it was the first cohort. So not many people knew each other. And we just did a random pairing. I would say it worked out 50-50 for us. Some people did really well together, and then some people just did it by themselves. So to start with, we will assign the pairs. So you don't have to take that additional stress of finding teammates. But if you do have someone you want to work with, then you're free to work with them.
I think now we can really also look at for like time zones. Yeah, I think, Pooja, you're making a good point. If you want to work alone on something, you can do that. But unless you're a very seasoned developer, we would just recommend you to put you into a team, because also like being with somebody else in a team holds you accountable to finish. Because we all know we are really, really busy. We have probably a full-time job, and then working, like if you have somebody who depends on you to finish something or answer a question, I feel like you are more likely to finish something than if you work alone and we just lose you. And I feel like even like as Ken said, through this pairing, yes, of course it wasn't ideal for everybody, but it was working well for some people. So yeah, the meetings that Discord shows for cohort 1, we will add the weekly cohort 2 meetings. Yeah. Okay, I would get started. I think we have here some snacks, like good first issues where help is wanted. And yeah, maybe if you pick an issue, you can just also, I have on my list, I have Huda. What is your time zone?
London, so BTC, isn't it?
Yeah, in London.
Yes,
Okay, perfect. Acceptance, test-based, and acceptance answer, privacy, I moved an artist. Oh, that's not a very long description. Um, okay, so like one of the things that we normally do is like we would recommend you to like go to this issue, right? I will write it down now. We would just say, okay, you get this issue. It does not have a very extensive description, in my opinion. What we would like, what normally happens is you would write a comment and would tag the owner. Like you would tag Sally and then you would say, hi, could I get this issue assigned? Together with that person, right? With your partner. And then you can say, hi, this is not really fully clear to me. Could you could you link to the respective files?
Lena, there were like 6, 7 first good issues. Can you
Yeah.
quickly scroll through them? People have
Okay.
something
Yeah.
like they just take that first preference.
Okay. So we have remove duplicate acceptance test and remove privacy acceptance test.
The first, they are all good first issues actually. Just go
Yeah.
from the first one. Yeah,
You-
CLI and override Genesis config. So
Yeah.
this is looks like some config file kind of thing, but it's also a bug and it's priority. So the lower the priority is, they may follow up with you a little faster.
Yeah.
Because I meant by lower, I mean like number wise. That's a higher
Yeah.
priority one. So people may follow up with you faster to fix that. So if that's something, if you like to work under pressure like me, then that's an issue I suggest you to pick. But let's just go
Yeah.
through one by one and just like
Yeah.
guesstimate what it could be. And then people, if anyone who raised their hands, if you feel like you feel closely with that issue, you can quickly pick it up. If not, we'll just randomly assign you like one after the other. Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Like the thing is, I just opened the ones where they say help wanted.
help wanted. Okay. Okay.
But like I don't know if that means extra attention is needed. I don't know what that. Yeah.
Yeah. And let's just go
Start.
through all of them. Like people can pick whatever they feel comfortable working with the piece, right? Let's just
Okay.
go through the titles, because going through this will take a long time.
Okay. So
So,
CLI option override Genesis config not working as it used to.
yeah,
So
some
that
config file.
CLI.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
related to config. I feel some CLI config that is not working like the way it is supposed to. Then next one is debug underscore metrics method error. So this seems like a core. In some function, there is like in some file, there is a function that is not working. So you need to fix that. Then parameterize consolidation request contract address. So this seems like something that could potentially be at the intersection of Web3 and your Java stuff. So maybe a bit of context might be required. I'm not sure. And this is an enhancement. That means it's an kind of RFP, RFE, we used to call it, request for enhancement. So you need to build a feature. So that might be interesting. If you feel adventurous, you can pick that. Remove the duplicated acceptance. Oh, I think Lena opened it sounds easier. Remove the duplicated except maybe there is a duplicate piece of code that you need to remove and test and make sure it's done. Next one is remove privacy 80s. They have been disabled for some time. Oh, this also looks easier. That's why it's a snack. Something is already disabled. So you just need to remove that and then test it and make sure that, it doesn't come into issues. Then next one is syncing. It starts syncing. ETH_syncing endpoint returns false when execution client is not synced. So this is a bug and this is got to do with API endpoints. So if you are familiar with how API endpoints works, or you are familiar with REST APIs or stuff like that, I think this might be a bit easier for you. This is a bug. So there is some mistake that is going on and you need to fix that. Then the next one is allowing Besu to parse a get style genesis like other clients. So this is something related to mainnet, seems like it's affecting the mainnet for some reason. So this will require some Web3 context, because again, how do the clients actually work? How do the blocks get synced? How does the data come? Maybe some context will help you. I'm not really sure how deep the context, how much depth would you need to know the context. And this is also an enhancement. What that means is you will need to write the feature. The feature doesn't exist, so you will have to build the feature. So that would be interesting. Optionally load JE malloc. So something related to memory, that's what I can say. And then it's an enhancement again, so you will have to write the feature. The next one, engine_get client version v1 expose web3 client version via engine API. So looks like it has got to do with this engine API library, and you will have to write this feature as well. It's an enhancement, but seems like it's a snack, maybe something small. So could be easy, I'm not sure. Remove ETH hash cache once Besu is synced. Again, this is a enhancement. So we'll have to write this feature to specifically remove this cache. Looks easy, maybe it's small, I don't know. Could be also a bit of work. Refactor ETH_get block receipts to use get transaction receipts. So this is the only issue that I can clearly understand, that instead of get block receipts, now the library has updated to, initially you used to get the block hash using get block receipts. Now you will be getting it via get transaction receipts. So you have to change that piece of code. You have to refactor that code. So code exists. You have to just make some changes, and most likely you will have to replace one call by another. So this looks simple. That's why it's a snack. Sending message that exceeds local message size limit. So this is a bug. You have to make sure that, you write some checks to check what is the local message size limit and send messages within that limit. So currently it's probably not doing the checks. Cannot call request port forward when in stopped state. Some good first issue. Icebox, I don't know what that means. Maybe it is some kind of tag. Log bonsai using snapshots config options at startup. So you need to maybe log some data that on certain conditions, you need to log some data. It's got to do with logging. So if you are all about like understanding this piece of code and then figuring out, okay, on what actions do I need to log this? That's all you need to do. I think writing, you don't have to write much code. You have to figure out what happens at startup and what are the things you have to log. That's it. Then the next one, you need some dev experience. So looks like I would suggest for the dev experience ones, if you have some experience in Java, then pick it up. Otherwise, it might be a bit of work. So java.lang.illegal state exception, storage has been closed when stopping. So that is, yeah, sorry, Lena.
Yeah. No, finish. After that, I think we don't have to go into the other ones. I think
That's it,
for
no?
the first, yeah, for the first thing, we don't need to go so too deep.
Yeah. Read file permission denied when starting Besu from Docker image. So this is definitely something you need to have Docker knowledge, and you need to figure out what Docker is exposing. So this is seeming like some port that Docker is exposing, but it's not exposing the correct permissions for reading the files. So that is that. And then last few.
I think this is enough, and I feel like they are in
Yeah.
Icebox and stuff, and
Yeah,
so
I don't
like
know.
I think we're good. I think we don't need to. These are all the ones that we
Okay.
can. That's
So
already on the list.
let's start assigning. Does anyone have any preference right now? Yeah, we'll go for first come, first serve basis. But some few people have already raised their hand. So if they have any preference, they can tell it to us now itself. So that issue will be blocked for them. So I know someone who messaged in the, hey, Neta asked for, okay, Katya, you want to go first? Yeah, go for it.
Hello, everyone. I would like to get the issue from Teku. It's update REST API endpoints. It's from Teku. Teku issues,
Ah.
not from this.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
here are also some.
Yeah, update REST API endpoints.
Okay. For Neta,
Ah.
sharing the
Yeah,
repository.
this one. Yeah. And we are going to work with Mercy together.
Okay, nice.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Okay, Katya and my issue 5606 from Teku repository. Okay, next we had few more people who had raised their hand. Huda, you had also raised your hand. Would you like to pick anything from?
You can assign anything random to me.
Okay, good. I would suggest one of these snacks that
Yeah,
have first good issues because it's not super. I think this one is probably the easiest one.
7347 is also easy. It is like you
Seven-
just need to remove something which has been already disabled for a long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, okay, cool. I'll take that.
Or somebody else who wants to join. Huda,
Crystal
could you
also.
please sing?
Crystal mentioned the same issue in chat.
Yeah, I would join Pooja.
Okay,
Okay,
but then
perfect.
you're a different time zone, right? Do you think that's not going to be an issue?
Oh yeah, it might be.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
so
like just wanted to flag that because I know last time you were also in group with Khawla, no? Like with somebody.
yeah, it was hard to meet up.
Yeah.
I'm on Eastern. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. I mean, we can also assign Huda another issue and you can have that if you chose that. That's not
No. Neta is on Eastern. Are you on?
Neta, are you on EST as well?
Yeah, I'm on East. I would love to team up.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. Then
Let's assign 7347 to them.
yeah, I
Crystal
did that.
and
Yeah.
for Huda, let's. Asli, are you around this one? London time zone? Is it similar for you?
Are you gonna connect us on Discord? Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, we will take you. We will put
Okay.
everything in a list and all of you for each of the issues. We will do that for the first time. So yeah.
Perfect.
No way.
Perfect. Thank you. Sorry for interrupting.
So you just Asli is kind of in the same time zone as Huda, no?
Yeah, similar, like 2 hours, I think we have
Yeah.
difference.
Okay, cool. Then I would say Huda and Asli can do.
Snack. They are looking for some snack. Let's do the remove the duplicated acceptance test base. That was your first choice. 7348.
7348.
Yeah.
That
They have also
was Subhanji, no?
Yeah. It will move quicker because they will keep an eye on it because they want help in that. So it will be. Next, Vez has raised their hand.
Okay, can I get the good first snack one? 5962.
5962. Vez,
Yeah,
what is your time zone?
This one.
IST.
IST. Okay. So then we can find, is there anyone else from IST or even European time zone is good, I guess, for
Yeah.
Hema has told me. Hema, are you okay with this issue? What was the issue number? 5962?
62, yeah.
5962. Okay. Hema, are you good with 5962? Okay. Okay, let's do it. So then Vez and Hema for 5962, Lena.
Okay, I have that. And then, like, sorry, what? I didn't get that. Asli and Huda, which issue we're gonna assign them?
7, the one above previous one. Can you?
Okay, because Shubhanshi also said she wants that, no? Or like, I don't know.
Shubhanshi?
I was texting Pooja. I thought because you mentioned that we can revert by tomorrow, so I thought maybe we can revert. But I don't know.
You can also, if you want to take your time, not an issue at all because there are lots of issues. So it's not like we are short of issues.
Okay.
Okay.
Lena, 7348 for Asli and Huda.
Okay, good. And then Shubhanshi, we will find another one for you that's easy in the snack.
Yeah.
Cool. I have Katya, Mercy. Anya unfortunately had to. Anya, you are already gone, right?
Yes. I will tell you who and IJ. IJ has raised her hand.
Yeah.
Do you have an issue that you want to pick?
No, you can pick anyone for me randomly.
Any like snack kind of thing? Maybe API 647 one. Are you okay with writing? It's an enhancement, so we'll have to add the feature. Is that good, IJ?
Yeah, though I don't have experience in Java, but I can try.
Okay.
Maybe is there another one that is not enhancement? Maybe.
But they are mentors, right? If we
Maybe
have mentors,
the remove e-hash.
Cache once Besu synced. Yeah, I think that is
But
better.
it's kind of an enhancement, but it's a kind of said remove. So I don't know what it is. Should
Yeah. It also says like ready. It is ready to be worked on. So maybe things are already there. They are just waiting for someone to take it up.
Yeah. Okay, I think that should be okay.
5 times.
Okay, IJ, we need somebody else to work with IJ on this.
Yes. IJ, what is your time zone?
UTC +3.
UTC +3. Is there anyone with similar time zone? UTC +3 ±2 hours. We have
Good.
more in the call. Euphemia.
I think Khadija and Ruth could be possible. No?
Mearef.
Ruth is saying okay.
Mearef is also GMT +3.
I think Ruth is raising her hand.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we have another team. Mearef and Khadija can work together because you're also in the same time zone. And then IJ and Ruth work on this together. I think that works, no?
For Meeraf and Khadija, we need one issue. Do you have any preference? Yeah.
So are you assigning the former issue to the one in Java? Because I mentioned that I'm okay with anyone on documentation.
Okay, if you want to do the documentation one, you can.
Okay. Just assign any issue on documentation.
Okay.
From the documentation repository, or is here like a documentation in here?
I think she said there is a particular repo that has a lot of documentation.
Yeah, the documentation repository, Lena. That's one. That one. So perhaps you can also take the issue and let us know which issue you want, Khadija. You can let us know from the documentation repo which issue you want, and we'll just.
Is it the Hyperledger
Yes,
one
yes.
that is a documentation issue? Okay, let me open it.
Yeah, Lena is sending it.
Thank you.
I have a question, can I ask?
Sure.
So I think Kanchan had mentioned about technical, as in like for beginners can start from the technical documentation place.
Yeah.
People who are beginning to. So are there any, repositories or something? Because I hear something
this
like.
is the one. This is the one. This is the repository, and
Okay,
I posted the link on the message as well. So if you want, it's called Hyperledger Besu Docs. So you take a look at that, and maybe you and Khadija can work on a documentation issue together.
Cool, sounds good.
Yeah. Okay. So
I think documents how to test the plugin. Anyone from those yes, from the plugins part. Documents, yes, anyone. Yeah. Should I send my GitHub handle?
No, you can just like that's what everybody can just push later. You can just add like you anyways need to fork and create. So like and for everybody to claim an issue, you have to comment under the issue. Hey, I would love to take this issue up with my partner.
So Netta has to drop, but I just had a question. I was looking at sending messages that exceed local message size limit, 5455. How reasonable is that for newbies?
We can't really tell because we haven't looked at the code repo, but from the description, it seems like if it's not an enhancement and if it's just like a bug or something, then it may not be, doesn't sound that difficult to me, but it's just my perspective.
So is it possible that I could follow up with you guys on Discord and just ask Netta first, and then we could go from there?
We can change your issue. That's unless you comment on that issue saying I and Netta, please assign us this issue. We can change your issue. So that's not a problem.
Okay. And then the other question I had was, you said someone was going to do an overview of how this one works. When will we
We will share that with you. I think the team at at Consensys and Hyperledger Besu will pre-record a video to just explaining the overall repository and structure. And then if you also go to these repositories, they have a very detailed explanation on how to contribute. So like they will explain you in detail, like what are the first steps, you need to clone the repository, right? And so on.
And the description of the repo itself, we have asked the creators to record and send it. So they will record the video and send us like the overview of the repository. And then since they are based in Australia time zone, we'll see if we can sync up, have a call, maybe sometime. It won't be regular. That's why they are trying to work with us as much asynchronously as possible. But they have joined the Discord. So we can always keep pinging them with questions.
Okay, so you're saying documentation in the MD, like useful links, where would I find this getting started?
So if you look at me sharing my screen, you can see here in the top, it says want to contribute to Hyperledger Besu, read the contributing guidelines, and then here.
Yeah, that's the page we are on, the good first issue. But this is the contributing guidelines which you can read through.
And here they really explain you how to raise an issue, how to contribute code, ask questions in their Discord. For that, you would need to, if you have questions, we have mentors in our Discord, but if you want them to be also like if you want to get exposure, and we know it's scary in the beginning to ask questions in a Discord. This is why we offer for you to ask them in our Discord and have our mentors help you. But of course, like the fastest way to get an answer is also to just post into the Discord of Hyperledger Besu. But for that, it's very important that you understand how to properly ask a question, right? How to explain what you have already been working on. And yeah, I want to distribute one last ticket. I think.
Can I ask? I'm waiting for just like a chance to ask something I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the base documentation repository and the refactor one, get ETH block receipts. Both of them are documentation repositories, right?
No, the one is the documentation repository and the other one is just like a normal repository with like different, like it's a client with like different. And for everybody who's new to Ethereum, I would also recommend doing a workshop that I will share with you later where you just understand the general setup of what are clients and how does the Ethereum ecosystem work. Because no, like as you can see here, Shivanji, here we have, this is like kind of like a lot of like Java code. It's not a lot of like documentation, right? And here you have the Besu docs. So it's two different repositories. And contributing to the Besu docs will probably end up here. The documentation, probably they even have it.
So as someone looking for getting into like Rust and all the sort of, I have a background in C++, but I have long back I used to do that. So I'm not in touch with that, but never done Java. And I'm interested in getting into Rust. So what would you suggest? Which direction?
I mean, we have you now for the docs with Khadija together for this issue.
Okay, that's why I'm asking what is this issue for before moving forward.
So you have to test a plugin and then you have to explain how to test it. And for that, you need to probably understand here, add new plugins docs section with outline of topics and content needed. And then here we have our plugins explanation. And then here's Accent Hyperledger Besu using plugins. Architecture. And then they want here in the how-to section, there's a test a plugin. So here you should instructions on testing a plugin. This is missing. This is what you would have to add. So like, I don't know if it makes sense, to be honest, now looking at it, if probably the first thing that would need to be done is configure a plugin, use the plugin API, use plugin metrics, and then, yeah, I would say probably it does make sense for you to start with testing a plugin.
But I mainly want to ask that I want to get into like the Rust direction. That's what I was like looking for since the beginning. So
Okay.
I don't know if this is like just for Java or for Rust. That's what I want to say.
So Java would also be okay, or you only want to do Rust?
I want to go towards Rust, if that's okay.
Okay, if you want to do Rust, then I would recommend to go into our old repository. I don't know if there's still open issues.
Because the current one you mentioned, like one was remove duplicate acceptance test, and the other one was refactor ETH get block receipt, ETH underscore get block receipt. I didn't know the number, but the current link that you had shared today, these two are there. I think the first one is already assigned to someone. So does the second one, do you think it's like doable for some?
Can you
beginning
share the
people?
link to the issue with me again?
I will have to find. It's just you had the list of all the issues open right in the beginning. The name was refactor ETH underscore get block receipts.
Yeah, the 5962. We now said Vice and Emma do it together, but if you want, maybe you can just join their group. Maybe also because you said for you it's been some time that you developed, maybe it's good for you to be in a group of 3. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, sounds good. Because I don't know if they're on the call or have the link.
Yeah, I mean, you can also just like go through everything and let us know what you feel like. Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
But I will add you now to the group together. I think that's good. And then Mehraf and Euphemia, I would add you to, because now we have the 7348 open. I would have that you do that. It looks like a very simple, it's this one. So you should be able to solve this easily. And I think then we have everybody here in a team. And yeah, no worries if you realize, like Khadija, you probably need to change your issue, to be honest. But I will write you about it. I think she dropped out. So yeah, we are already 15 minutes over time, so I don't want to take more of your time. Thank you everybody so much for joining. Very, very excited. We will meet next week at the same time. And yeah, please let us know if you have Euphemia, I added you to a team. I will please check Discord because I will link all of you. If you have filled out the sign up form, I will have your Discord handle and I will tag you in that, okay? So you will know who you work with and who you have to reach out to. And I would anyways recommend you to put Discord, like the Women in Ethereum protocol, on top of your Discord, right? And make sure you check your messages, if like your team member messages you, and just like make sure you are available and responsive. I feel like I had such issues with Discord for a long time, but like especially like through this group, I got more active because I always check the messages, check what people are writing, how I can support. So yeah, just make sure you're responsive, especially now at the beginning when you want to pair up so your team member is not lost. Okay? Well, I link all of you. Please connect and I see you and let us know if you have any other questions. Okay? We will also link the recording and the slides for you to like catch up in case you missed anything or you joined later. Thank you everybody for joining. See you soon. See you next week. Bye bye.